Of course, a little bit with the family, just living our life, having a good time.
Listen, guys, hold on for a second because what's happening with Max Verstappen right now is honestly one of the most emotional stories in Formula One history.
Then also I stopped racing and then we all together.
We're talking about a man who built his entire life around racing, who bled for this sport, who gave everything to Red Bull. And right now, he's waking up every single day having to convince himself to keep going.
We cannot fight with those cars.
Today, I'm going to break down exactly why this is happening, show you the real causes behind it, and yeah, I'm also going to give you Orange Army something to hold on to. So stick with me till the end, because this video has a side you haven't heard yet. Max's GT3 obsession, the real warning sign. So let's start with something everyone's talking about, but nobody's really connecting properly. Max's GT3 obsession. Now think about this. Last year, this man secretly drove at the Nürburgring under a fake name, Franz Herrmann, a four-time world champion, hiding his identity just to get on a racetrack and feel something again. That tells you everything. Fast forward to 2026, he's built his own team, Verstappen Racing, factory deal with Mercedes-AMG, the whole thing. He raced NLS2 in March, won on the road, got disqualified for a tire technicality, and his reaction? He said, and I'm quoting here, "Every time I jumped out of the car, I was smiling." And I think that's always a good thing. Now compare that to what he's saying about his F1 car this season. He called it undrivable. He said it feels like Mario Kart. He said he's beyond frustration. He doesn't even have words for it anymore. So here's the thing, Orange Army. The smiles right now are not coming from F1. And that should worry us. Because when Max Verstappen finds joy somewhere else, it means something deeper is broken. How the exit clause was born. Now this brings us to the exit clause. And look, everyone's reporting on it, but nobody's telling you where it actually came from or why it exists. So go back to early 2022. Max is signing his big long-term Red Bull contract, the one that runs till 2028. And right there in those negotiations, he demands one thing: a way out. Specifically tied to the 2026 regulations. Because even back then, 4 years ago, Max had already read what these new rules were going to be: the massive shift to electric power, the lifting and coasting through corners, the whole philosophy of the car, and he didn't like what he saw. So he basically told Red Bull, "I'll commit to you until 2028, but if these cars kill my enjoyment, I need a door." ESPN actually confirmed this. The clause was, quote, specifically added due to his long-standing apprehension about the 2026 regulations. And here's what hits different about that. Max wasn't reacting to a bad weekend when he said this. He was being honest about his future 4 years in advance. He knew this moment might come. He prepared for it. And now that moment is here. Two versions of the exit clause. All right, so now let's talk about the actual clause, because there are two versions of the exit clause, and they're different in a crucial way. In 2025, Max could leave Red Bull if he was outside the top three at the summer break. That moment came at Spa. He was P3, the gap to P4 was too large, the clause never triggered, and he stayed. For 2026, the threshold got tighter. Sky Sports confirmed it. Now it's top two. If Max isn't P1 or P2 by summer break, he can walk away with zero compensation, no penalties, nothing. And right now, he's sitting P9 with 12 points. Red Bull is the fourth fastest team on the grid. The gap to P2 is already 43 points in just 3 races. Mathematically, the door is already open. Now at this point, you might be wondering, if Max leaves, what does that life actually look like for him? No 22-race calendar, no media days, no pressure, just him, his family, his GT3 car, and honestly, one of the most incredible lifestyles in the world. I actually put together a full documentary on Max's lifestyle, what his daily life looks like, what he spends his money on, how he lives when the cameras aren't on him. Go check it out after this. The link is in the description. Trust me, it's worth it. The Lambiase story nobody is telling. Everyone's treating Lambiase's departure like a funeral, but here's a completely different angle. Yes, GP is leaving Red Bull for McLaren, joining no later than 2028 as chief racing officer. And yes, Max once said he'd retire if GP left. That's a fact. But here's what everyone's missing. Max didn't fight this. Jos Verstappen confirmed the family knew for a while and actually encouraged Lambiase to take the opportunity. Max himself reportedly pushed GP to go. Think about that. A man supposedly planning to walk away? Why would he care about his engineer's career growth? Why push GP toward a better future if his own was already decided? There's more. Lambiase is 46 years old. For a decade, he's been Max's engineer, his entire F1 identity. Now he gets to build his own legacy at the most dominant team on the grid. And of all people, Max Verstappen understands what it means to achieve something on your own terms. Could this actually ignite something in Max? Could losing GP push him to prove he doesn't need anyone's voice in his ear to win? That's a possibility the Orange Army shouldn't ignore.
Max's loyalty. The exit is open. And that leads me to maybe the most important point of this whole video. The exit clause is basically already active. Everyone knows it. Red Bull knows it. Max knows it. And yet after the worst race weekend he's had in years in Japan, what did Max do? He didn't call his lawyers. He invited Mikis and Lambiase onto his private jet for a direct, honest conversation about the team's situation. ESPN said it was unprecedented. Another source called it frank talks between Max and his key people. This is a man who has been at Red Bull for 10 years, who watched Newey leave, who watched Horner get fired, who watched half the championship-winning team walk out the door. And he's still there, still pushing, still fighting. That loyalty is real, and it means something. Laurent Mikis is calling Miami a second season launch. Significant upgrades, simulator work, fundamentally rethinking their development route. And Max? He skipped NLS 3 this weekend to work actively with Red Bull on the F1 car. He's in the factory. He's in the simulator. He's trying to fix this. A man who wants to quit doesn't do that. What happens next? So here's my honest take. Look at 2025. Max was 100 points behind Norris at one stage and came back to lose the title by just 2 points. That comeback happened because he locked in completely. No distractions, just pure focus. Right now, the GT3 racing is giving him joy, and I get it, I really do. But if Max channeled that same energy back into F1, if Miami upgrades give him a car he can actually push, and if the FIA makes even small regulation changes, this could look very different by summer. The exit clause is there, the frustrations are real, but Max Verstappen has never been a man who walks away mid-battle. So I'll leave you with this question. Do you think Max stays and fights, or do you think the summer break is when we say goodbye? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. And don't forget to check out the lifestyle documentary, link is in the description. See you in the next one.